Hey, and welcome to this 15 Minutes Live. It's another Saturday morning. It's a beautiful day, sunny day, and lots to do. In actual fact, I want to get to it before the sun gets too hot. So, we will be working on my son's car today. We will be replacing the suspension. So, while I'm waiting for him, I've already got my overalls. I had my overall on and I took it off to do this video. So he just had to run out quickly to do an errand, and I thought while I'm waiting on him to get back, let me just do a quick 15 minutes. So we're replacing the suspension today, and I love working. I love doing manual labor. Although it's not my day to day, but I love doing manual labor. Just check if the timer's running. So I love doing manual labor. Not always, but I love getting my hands onto things and fixing things and doing. So I love working with tools and power tools and stuff like that. Not every day, but just occasionally. So I'm quite excited to get to work on his vehicle today. It's time spent with him, and also we get to do things together. And I pass my knowledge over to him, and in the process we also learn and discover new things together. So we're doing the shock absorbers on his vehicle today. When we bought the vehicle, I knew that the shock absorbers needed to be done, and we couldn't do it at the time because we didn't have the finances to do it. And we said we'll do bit for bit over time. How do you eat an elephant? So you eat the elephant bit by bit, piece by piece. So that's what we're doing here. So today is the shock absorbers, and I've been looking into it, how to do it. It seems like quite a simple job, and over a weekend, time. There's just so many time constraints. So you really just have X amount of hours to do things because everyone else has got something to do. There's something else to be done. There's just so much to do, and you only get to do these things over a weekend. So we've got about 3 hours to do the job. I don't want to rush it, but we're working on a 3 hour time period. And I know things don't always go as planned, although everything is ready to do the job. I know things don't always go to plan, and it's those things that really eat up the time. But let's see how it goes. So I'm really excited, but I know with these jobs, number one is the dirt, especially when you work with grease and oil. I struggle to get it out of my hands, so I continuously scrub my hands and fingers until they hurt to get the grease out from the nails and around the nails and on the fingers. So I'm not looking forward to that. So I've got the safety gloves out, and hopefully the safety gloves will also help with keeping my hands clean. And I always hurt myself, working with manual labor, so I always lose skin or I hurt myself. So I'm going to be very careful this time so that I don't hurt my hands. But that being said, I want to talk about success and what success is and what does it mean to many people, and talk about the recipe for success. So yeah, we all want to be successful, right? We all want to be successful in the things that we do or the things we put our minds to. But there's a number of books and there's a number of writings and talks and videos on how to be successful. And to be honest with you, I don't think that there is a set recipe for success. I don't think you can really document it and say, if you follow A to Z, success is guaranteed. So I honestly believe that success means different things to different people. We all have different drives. We all have different ambitions. We all have different standards. We all value things differently. We don't value the same thing. And just because those differences in each individual, and although we all human, I know we don't look the same, no one looks the same, but we're all human. We all have 10 fingers, some have 12, but I mean the standard is we all have 10 fingers. We all have an arm and a leg, and we're the same. So if you just look at humans or the human anatomy, we're all the same. We are made the same, we are built the same. But with that similarity, there's also a difference. There's a difference in personality, there's a difference in look, there's a different genetic make. I mean, each person has got a complete unique DNA blueprint. Our genetic makeup is just, for each person, there's a unique blueprint. So that in itself says that we are unique. Although we are similar, we are unique. So I don't see how success could be the same for everybody if everybody's unique, if I can say it that way. Right? Clearly, for each his own. Right? But I also believe there's a set of principles that applies to everybody. And these principles are universal. Right? But if you have to plot a guideline or a chart to success, and let's say for instance you have 1 to 10 elements within this guideline, or and you take in those, there will possibly be 9 of these elements will be universal and would apply to everybody, right? And if you only change one of it, the 10th or one, and you make it unique to the individual, then you have a guide or a unique guide for every individual on this earth. And I think the path to success, the guide to success, is unique to each individual. For instance, I may regard success as being obtaining a certain level of education. Someone else might regard success as obtaining the same level of education, but without ever having to fail a subject or a module. You know, I might have failed 1 or 2 modules during my studies, and I had to repeat a few modules, but eventually I obtained my qualification, whereas another person feels success is when they obtain that qualification without ever failing a module. It's like just first time around. So just we reach the same level, but how we reach the level is different, and based on that, you know, we could determine success. So that person might say, you were not successful, you had to repeat a number of times, so you can't regard that as being successful. Whereas I did it the first time. So that's just maybe a simple example, but just to show you that reaching the same end point, but doing it differently, might be regarded different by different people. And success could be different. Some people, financial success is success to them. Others are just content with what they achieve, even if it doesn't make them rich, but just the fact that they are happy in what they're doing, it could be success to them. Others see their children's well-being as success. I don't know. Success is just different for different people. So what is the formula to success? Like I said, so I don't think anyone can come and say, here is a formula to success. If you follow this formula, you will be successful. I think each person must chart their own course. I think we can draw from a number of principles in life. And if you draw from these principles and you patch it together and you bring your own unique flavor to it, and you can make success for yourself, right? And I think it will be actually difficult to document what you have done to reach success or to attain success or to be success. It will be difficult because it's not doing things a certain way and repeating that same pattern that brought you success. I think in between there's a lot of drawbacks, there's a lot of curves, there's a lot of hurdles, and you constantly have to maneuver yourself. You constantly have to change your strategy, change the way you do things. I'm very wary of time. Change the way you do things, and if something doesn't work, you go a different direction. Nothing is static. And if you have to chart that course, I mean, the dynamics of the path that you are walking is so vast that you can't really document it. You know what I'm saying? You can maybe document the common things, but to be honest with you, once you've reached success or a level of success, it will be very difficult for you to document because you just had to navigate and change direction and because if you didn't do that, if you didn't change direction, if you didn't do things differently, you would have never reached success or achieved success, because if you do the same things over and over and over again, you're gonna get the same results, right? And if you failed the first time, you had to make a change to get a different result. It's impossible for you to just do the same thing over and over again and get the same results. And yes, you might do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, but if the environment in which you are operating, if the environment changes, right, then you could you can repeat your cycle continuously, but because the environment changes, the impact of this cycle might be different because the environment is different. But even in that, the circumstances determines the outcome. So there is a variable in this cycle, and that would be the environment. So sometimes you have to change your process, you have to change the way you do things. If the environment stays stable, so you do things differently or you change to a different direction. And that's the beauty of life, is you can wake up tomorrow and you can decide differently. You can wake up tomorrow and you can choose another path. You can abandon this path, you can choose another path, or you can stick with your objective and just change the way you're doing. That's the beauty of life. And these options are unlimited. They are completely unlimited. You can have as many flavors as you like, right? Until you actually find the outcome that you desire. Okay. And that's why I'm saying it will be very difficult to document because the variables will be too much. But some of the common things is, number one, you need to have an end vision. You need to envision what the end result is. Without having that end result in mind, I don't ever see you charting a course to reach that. So that would be common to everybody. You need to see the end result, right? Then you need to have the desire to do it. You need to have the desire. You need to want to be there. You need to want to attain that. You need to want, it's that desire, right, that will drive you to that end point, right? And then you need to have the willpower not to quit, right? You need to, even when things go bad, right? You need to have that willpower to continue. It's like, I'm not giving up. This didn't work, I'm gonna go this way. Very wary of time. So you need to have that willpower. You need to have that, I don't know if it's consistency. You need to consistently work towards achieving achieving what you want to achieve. I can go on, people, but that's my 15 minutes live. I still have a few more things to say, but I'm keeping to the time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.